Long ago, during the era of the warring states, the king of Qin sought to unite all of China. However, the powerful state of Chu remained a formidable obstacle. The king called upon his greatest commander, Wang Jian. "How many men do you need to conquer Chu?" the king asked. Wang Jian studied the maps carefully and replied, "I will need an army of 600,000 soldiers." "Not one man less," the king agreed, and the massive force began its long march south. When the Qin army reached the border, Wang Jian surprised everyone. Instead of charging into battle, he ordered his men to build massive earthen walls and deep trenches. A young soldier named Geng approached him as they worked. "General, shouldn't we be attacking their capital?" Geng asked. Wang Jian patted the young man's shoulder. "A wall can be just as sharp as a sword, Geng. For now, we build." Across the dusty plains, the Chu army arrived like a gathering storm. Their leader, General Xiang Yan, was a man who loved the glory of a quick fight. He saw the Qin fortifications and laughed, thinking the Qin soldiers were too afraid to face him. He lined up his thousands of chariots and prepared his men for a great clash, certain the war would be over by sunset. For many weeks, the Chu army tried to provoke the Qin soldiers. General Xiang Yan sent his fastest archers to ride close to the walls, shouting insults and challenging the Qin army to come out. "Are you soldiers or mice?" they jeered. But the gates stayed shut. Xiang Yan watched from his horse, his face turning red with frustration as his army stood in the blistering heat, waiting for a battle that never began. Inside the Qin camp, the atmosphere was calm and disciplined. Wang Jian spent his days visiting his lieutenant, Meng, to ensure the men were well cared for. "The men have plenty of food and clean water," Meng reported. Wang Jian smiled and poured a cup of tea. "The enemy is outside in the dust, burning through their energy. We are using the strategy of Yì Dài Láo, waiting at ease for the exhausted." As the months passed, Wang Jian encouraged his soldiers to stay strong but relaxed. He watched from the ramparts as the soldiers held competitions, throwing heavy stones and wrestling to keep their muscles sharp. Lieutenant Meng marveled at the energy of the troops. "They are like a coiled spring," Meng observed. Wang Jian nodded. "The spring is only useful when released at the perfect moment. We must wait for the enemy to crumble." Finally, General Xiang Yan could wait no longer. His supplies were running low, and his soldiers were tired of standing in the sun for a year. Believing that Wang Jian was truly a coward who would never fight, Xiang Yan ordered his army to retreat. He called a scout to his side. "Tell the men to break camp," Xiang Yan grumbled. "We are moving back to the interior. This war is a waste of time." From the tallest watchtower, Wang Jian saw the dust rising from the Chu retreat. He turned to Meng, his eyes suddenly sharp and bright. "Now," he commanded. "The enemy is tired, their backs are turned, and their spirits are low. Signal the 600,000. Today, the storm finally breaks." He drew his long bronze sword, and the metal gleamed in the afternoon sun. The Qin army burst from their gates like a flood of iron. They were fresh, rested, and incredibly fast. The retreating Chu soldiers, exhausted by months of waiting and the weight of their own gear, could not form a line in time. Wang Jian rode at the front of the charge, sweeping across the plains. Beside him, the soldier gang ran with great speed, finally understanding his general's plan. The victory was total, and the state of Chu was conquered, helping to unite the land. Back in the palace, King Yingzheng welcomed Wang Jian home. "You won by waiting," the king remarked in awe. Wang Jian bowed deeply. "Patience is a weapon, Your Majesty. We let time and fatigue do the hardest work, so that when we finally struck, the victory was already ours."